And welcome back. Returning to our top story now, and a resentencing date has just been set for brothers Eric and Lyle Menendez.
Yeah, for more on this, we're joined by entertainment editor Pete Ford. Pete, what's the latest on this?
Well, it's a very anticlimactic day if you were hopeful that the Menendez brothers were going to be getting out, because everything has been delayed until the end of January. It's quite odd that they didn't announce this in advance. I mean, everybody was there. The media was there. Their 93-year-old aunt on a walking frame turned up. And then suddenly the judge says, I've got 17 boxes of stuff to go through, so I'm just not ready to proceed. Plus, there is a new DA, district attorney in California, who is a far more conservative man than the outgoing one. You've got to remember, with the Menendez brothers, there seems to be a belief or an assumption that everybody wants this to happen. And there are a lot of people who are very much opposed to the Menendez brothers getting out. It's certainly not unanimous. And there are a lot of people in prisons who don't get Netflix shows, who are wrongly there or have been given sentences that are way too long. And you don't hear about them. And those people, you know, are in terrible strife as well. But the Menendez brothers have got the focus on them. So it all gets pushed back until the end of January. Now, interesting little sidebar item, the wife of Eric, Rebecca, has announced that she actually has separated from him. Now, they got married 20 years ago. Lyle's wife, sorry. They got separated recently. This is the first we've known about it, because Lyle's always spoken about her very recently as still being together, and she is still very much pro both of them getting out, and she certainly still runs his Facebook page for him, does his social media. There have been a suggestion that he'd been having an affair. Can you believe people have affairs when they're in prison?
How long has he been in prison for?
I know. He's been in prison for 35 years.
Right, and they've been married for 21 years.
So
and the marriage is on the rocks because maybe he's having an affair.
And and he could be getting out.
He could be getting out.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, I know it's people in prison that get more action than people who aren't in prison.
OK, Pete, carry on.
Yep.
Yeah, so there is a thing called hybristophilia. And it's a real thing where women are attracted, usually, I guess it can work in reverse, but women are attracted to men who've committed these horrible crimes in prison, start writing to them, and then it can end up becoming a kind of an affair, or in the case of Lyle, it ended up becoming a marriage. So anyway, everything is off until the end of January. It's a case of watch, wait and see. Don't forget, it was about 8 weeks ago, it was actually Kim Kardashian who said at the time, and she'd been pushing for this to move forward, she actually said this process will take at least 6 months. So it sounds like she was pretty much on the money there.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. We zigged and zagged a bit through that answer. I feel like we covered a lot of things in it, but we came back to the sensible Kim Kardashian, and we can count on her word in this case. She's across the details.
That's right. And our great takeaway there is that people get more action in prison.
I just don't need to bring that up.
You've got an update for us about Elton John's health, Pete.
Yeah, so this is concerning. So Elton has confirmed he's still having ongoing sight issues with his right eye. Now, we talked about this a couple of months ago, and it was an infection that got into his eye, and it's now basically left him blind in his right eye. Now, bear in mind, of course, this is someone who would have access to the very best medical treatment and professionals in the world, and they still can't get on top of it. Now, he's talked about it because he's in the news cycle at the moment because of the Broadway show being cancelled, and also because he was to be dropping a new album, but he says he can't finish it because he can't go into the studio and read a lyric at the moment. Now, a couple of days ago, he went to the Royal Variety performance where he met King Charles. And I think what we're about to do may be illegal, but nonetheless, we'll do it because we're going to turn the sound up right up, because he talked to King Charles privately about his eye problems. So you've got to listen very carefully to this, and you'll hear what Elton John has to say.
Sir Elton John.
It's taken me years to say that, but I'm very happy to say it. So, how lovely to see you. I've lost my right eye.
So there you go. Hopefully, you know, he will be on the mend. He's indicating there he's lost the sight in his right eye, not just saying temporarily.
Hey, Pete, you're right when you said that's illegal. The good news for you is you're going to prison.
Yeah, well,
it might turn out well for you in there, apparently. Let's change gears now. The Princess of Wales, she's extended a really special invite to some people.
Yeah.
What's this all about? This is lovely.
Yeah, this is very lovely because you might recall earlier in the year there was a horrible, horrible massacre. There were 3 young girls were killed. It was a Taylor Swift dance contest in Southport, England, and 10 other girls were very seriously injured, and their poor teacher fought to do it the best she could in the midst of all of that. Well, anyway, since then, King Charles has met them, Taylor Swift has met the survivors, and the Princess of Wales has also met them. Now she's invited the survivors and their relatives to come to her annual Together at Christmas carols presentation. So that they'll all get to come to London, have 3 days in London, all expenses paid, and to be in the audience for the recording of that session. So, you know, in amongst the horror that obviously will be ongoing for those young kids to process that and deal with it, something nice is happening.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, Glen Powell is the latest star to get a lookalike contest. It seems like every day we're doing these.
I know.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? So this one, actually, we've seen some really tacky prizes for some of them, like 20 and 30 bucks or a slab of beer. But in this prize, you get to become a movie star. You get a little cameo in Glen Powell's next movie. And this is Glen Powell himself selling the idea.
The winner of today's contest gets a personal prize from me. Now, you may know that my parents make a cameo in every movie I make, but today, the winner of the Glen Powell lookalike contest wins their parents, or any family member of their choice, a cameo in my next movie. I am completely serious.
Wow.
So, and the good news is, I'm being told from the control room, we have a winner. We actually have a winner in the contest. So here you see the person who has won the contest and now will have the option of appearing in Glen Powell's next movie. So, yeah, good hype.
How fun. I remember I won that lookalike contest a few years ago.
What was that for?
Danny DeVito.
Can I just say I'm deeply angry that this show is having that Hans person on the show this morning.
Right.
I've
That
said
makes
to
3
you
of us.
multiple times, he is not the person he claims to be, and I don't know why we continue to promote him.
What do you mean, Pete?
I don't know. I haven't been able to get to the bottom of it. Immigration Department won't help me, but there is something about him that is really sus. Yeah, look at him. Real smart.
Jealousy.
Pete,
Jealousy,
when you say-
honey. Jealousy.
Pete, when you say there's something about him, you mean just one thing? Or...
Yeah, a lot, yeah. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up.
Oh dear, this is. Stay tuned. I think this is an unfolding story.
Somebody
here
call
on
the Spotlight.
TMS.
This is-
Spotlight
Yeah.
are working on an expose. I
I
shouldn't
feel
say.
like it's a Spotlight expose coming up.
Good on you, Pete. You just keep digging, mate, and we'll be back with you again shortly.